Alright, this is part 7. This is just a logistics episode. We just have to go over a few things that we have to add to the calculator before it's ready to display its answer on the bottom. First thing I want to go over is the leading zero logic. What that means is, well, these don't look very natural right now. They're 3 zeros when honestly you only need 1. And I think on the original calculator, if you have just 0 in there, it just shows 1. So let's fix this and add a little bit of logic so that it looks normal. The way we can do that is first we just need to cancel the leading zeros on the top and bottom because they never need to be shown. There's no number you can type in here where this number needs to be shown as a 0. It just never happens. The other thing we need to do is I'm gonna put slabs all along here. Block this off, and I'm gonna OR them all together into a torch. And now this output should tell us whether it's a 0 or not. So as soon as we get any other signal that's not a 0, this line gets powered and it turns it off. And so now we just need to connect this and make it so that it cancels the second 0. Because if our leading 0 is a 0, then we have permission to also cancel the second one. And there we go. Let's do the exact same thing on the bottom. Just bring some slabs out. Put redstone on them. Block it off where you need to. Make it go into a torch. And then take signal from here. Okay, so now no matter what we type in on the top and bottom, it should look normal. And you can test that by just putting in a 1 and then a 0. Yep, so since this 1 is out here, it allows this 0 to be on, and then it also allows this 0 to be on. And when we clear it, it just goes back to being 1, 0. Cool, now every number should look normal. I'm also going to go around the back and put a bar like this all the way out to like here. Now you can take your BCD to 7 segment display device from the very beginning and copy it 5 times on the bottom. And when you're done, it should look something like this. All 5 modules right next to each other to make one giant line of BCD. Now we just need to do that same leading 0 logic, but for the entire answer. So the first thing, just like before, is to cancel this 0 because there's never a point where you want that 0 to show. The next thing I'm going to do is bring out slabs, but behind it this time, and still put redstone like this. And do this for the first 3. So this one, and this one. It should look something like this. And now you want to actually bring out the 0 from here and block this off, and then block like this, repeater, and another block, and another block, and 2 redstone. So do that for the 3 middle numbers. So this one, and this one, not the ones on the end. After you've done that, it should look something like this with these 3 sticking out here. Now you want to take a repeater signal from here into a block, into a torch, into another block, and line it up with this guy so that it powers it and cancels the second 0 on the display. Then you want to take another signal from here and put this into another torch, into a block, have them line up like this, into another dust, into a torch, and like this. And then you're going to kind of repeat. You're going to want to put another repeater here, into this, into the L-shaped thing, torch, block, one more, another torch, and over like this. So if I did everything correctly, we should have the leading zero logic for the answer all working. So let's say our third number is an 8. So in other words, we got an answer of 800, or I think that might be a 1. Yeah, it's a 1. So the 1 stays, and it keeps all the zeros that follow it. If we have something in the very end one, let's actually do an 8 this time. Let's say our answer came out to be 80,000. You can see as soon as this 8 goes in, all the zeros that follow it pop up. So now the answer should always look normal as well. Now we're going to connect all the outputs from all 4 of these, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We're going to connect all 4 of those outputs into one like master bus, and that master bus will put itself into the answer. So to start this, I'm going to just go on the first level of division. That way division will line up properly. Go all the way out to like here. It really doesn't matter. Redstone, and stack 15 up. And then you can take this whole thing, there should be 16 of them, and stack it this way by like 60. Now your job is to connect the outputs from these 4 into the master bus at their corresponding levels. The bottom one here resembles a 1, and then 2, 4, 8, 16, etc. all the way to the 32,000 or something. And so you just want to take the output from addition, put it in accordingly, subtraction, put it in accordingly, and so on. So I'll start with addition for example. You have to do the going down with the slab block trick in order to make them all stack with each other. So you're going to have a lot of this until it finally gets to the same level as this level 1. And so this level 1, if I look at my top right, it's at Y101. So we want this one here to go to 101. So we go down by 2 more. And yeah, you get the idea. So you put repeaters where you need to, take all of these, line them up, plug them into the bus, and do the exact same thing with subtraction, multiplication, and division. Alright, so you can see here that's what I did. Addition drops down and just gets put into the first 9. Subtraction drops down and gets put into the first 8. We'll worry about this bit later. This is going to be for our subtraction sign. Multiplication, I took the L right here of the outputs and just lined them all up with the 1 through 16. And then division, I just connected it to the end right here. And then this wall is all flowing to the right, so they should all activate these lamps on the very end now. Now I need a cancellation line for each of these 4. So comparator on subtract mode. Stack 8, repeater, stack 8, slab tower, stack, and then just put a torch here. And now you want to do the exact same thing for the other 3, and you might have something like this where you need to extend the signal. Now I have a cancellation tower for everything, the divider, the multiplier, the subtractor, and the adder. And they're all being powered right now with a torch on the bottom. So right now nothing is getting through to our answer. Now we have to build our mode selector, the thing that allows us to switch between the 4 modes over here. You're going to start by putting 4 torches directly behind the buttons, and then put 4 blocks on top of them, 4 more torches, 4 more blocks, and then dust on top. All of these torches are going to power a line of repeaters all on 1 tick, into sticky pistons that go upwards, into more blocks, and then another line of repeaters. And now we're going to have sticky pistons facing outwards with redstone blocks. And then out here, you want a row of alternating redstone repeater to dust, put blocks like this, and then on the other side, make it alternate the other way. So dust in front of the repeaters, repeaters in front of the dust. Up here, you want more sticky pistons, blocks on top of them, more dust, blocks on these, and then connect these up, and then bring it out further with a slab into a torch. So now we should be able to select what we want, and if you put lamps on these, well, actually just go out like this, down like this. Alright, now you should be good to put lamps on them if you want. And this should be our mode selector. So if we hit addition, we get the addition lamp to turn on. If we hit subtraction, subtraction lamp turns on. And yeah, now I'll attempt to show you how to build this symbol switcher thing that I made. It allows you to put the plus sign, negative sign, multiplication sign all in the same 5x5 area. You're going to start with your 5x5 area of lamps, and then you want torches on a 3x3, and then also on some extra blocks out here. The top 3 lines, you're going to first get rid of this block and put one here instead, and then put redstone on top of these two, redstone on these two, repeater here, and also repeater on these 2 blocks, and then you can line them all up. And these are going to be your top 3 segments. So what these segments control for is specific parts of the display, and the parts we're going to code for with these 9 rows are, well, the top row is this guy, and this guy. The middle row is this guy, this guy, this guy, and then the bottom row is this guy, and this guy. So those are the things we're going to control for, and then using different combinations of them, we're going to use an encoder to code for the 4 different symbols. So then back to building, you do have to go in here and punch out these 2, and then just put blocks right here. Now for your middle row, you first want to punch out this block so you can reach in here and put a repeater. Then you can replace it and put the torch back. And then your middle segment is going to be your repeater here. Bring it out like this. The other 2 on the middle row are going to be brought out with blocks like this and a slab here. And then you're going to put 2 repeaters, dust all the way. Same thing over here. Blocks out like this, but this one's a slab. 2 repeaters, and dust all the way. Now for the bottom row, the middle one you can just take with a repeater from right here. The side ones are going to be a little bit different. You're going to want to put another 2 torches kind of below these ones. And now you have to link up redstone so that they can all connect. So you're going to want to put a repeater here, a block here, and something like this so that you can put, and block these off. So that you can put redstone all the way on here, and same thing on this side. Another 2 torches, repeater into a block, connect all the redstone. Now some of these are on to start, so I'm actually going to just change that to make it simpler. What I'm going to do, so the top 3 are on, the middle outside ones are on, and the bottom middle one is on. So we can just fix that by putting torches all here on these guys and on this guy. And now they should all be off. Now you can bring all these lines back out again to make a 3x3, and then extend the top to go 2 up like this, and the bottom to go 2 down like that. Alright, should look something like this. Then you want to put your 4 vertical lines, or 4 lines going the other way. Put redstone on them, and then you can copy this whole layer and place it above the other 2 as well. So copy from here, paste -A, and paste -A. Now you can connect each column of 3 with a slab tower here. That way when we go down here and power it with a torch, it powers all parts of the line. So all the way to here, all the way to here, and all the way to here. And then stack this 3 more times out so it covers all 4. Now you want to snake these guys under with a few more torches. So take it like this. And stack this guy. Expand 1, stack 3. And now, after you code for your lines, these will represent your addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So put blocks like this, grab a lever, and now we can test for each one. So when we hit addition, this line's going to turn off, meaning all the torches attached to it will turn on. So we want all the torches attached to this first line to resemble the plus. So that means we want this one, all the ones on the middle row, and one down here in the middle. And that gives us a plus sign. So that's good. We can turn it off and then go to subtraction. Subtraction, we just want the middle 3. So boom, boom, boom. Alright, yeah, subtraction sign. And then multiplication is going to be the corner ones. So it's going to be like these 2 outside ones, and then the middle, and then these 2 outside ones. And that gives us an X, perfect. And then finally, for division, we just want a slash. Cool. Now you can copy this whole module and paste it somewhere on your display. I'm going to take it from this row and then go 1 up. And I'm also going to line it up with the middle of the second digit. So this column right here, paste -A. It doesn't really matter where you put it, but the important thing is that it doesn't interfere with anything going on over here. So you can see we just barely don't mess with the lines underneath, and we also don't mess with the leading 0 logic that we built over here. So now you can see as we press these, we can put symbols on the screen. So I just hit the division one. You can hit the addition one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 4 lines, I'm going to sneak them all the way back through here and have them somewhere out here so it's easier to line up with the 4 modes. And that's what I did. I took those 4 lines, put them through here, and now they're easier to reach. Alright, I made a logic map for all the remaining things we have to do. Each row resembles when each mode is turned on, and the signs next to it are all the things that has to happen when that mode gets turned on. So for addition mode, we have to do these 3 things. We have to turn on the addition sign, which is that first one right there that we just made. We have to unlock the addition answers, which means we have to turn off this tower from these towers that we made earlier, and that will let the addition answer come through. And then the third thing we have to do is we have to clear M&D. M&D stands for the multiplier and the divider. This is just so that people can switch between the modes at their will without having issues with the divider and stuff. So when addition mode is turned on, we just have to also clear the multiplier and divider. Subtraction mode, we have to turn on the sign. We have to unlock their answers. We have to also enable the negative sign if we need to. And then we also have to clear the multiplier and divider. Multiplication mode, we have to do the sign, the answers. We have to press calculate on the multiplier, otherwise it won't do anything. And then we have to clear the divider. Division mode, turn on the division sign, unlock the answers, press calculate on the divider, enable the decimal point, so the decimal point will come after the first 2, and then clear the multiplier. But before we do any of that though, I want to change these calculate and clear buttons for the multiplier and the divider, because right now they're just meant to work with stone buttons, which is great, but a stone button is really specific. It's a 10-tick redstone pulse, and these modes, when they're turned on, they're not 10 ticks, they just stay on for as long as you have the mode. So we need to create a 10-tick pulse generator on these guys. So I'm going to get rid of these lamps, I'm going to extend them down with the torch. There you go. And then you can create your first 10-tick thingy on here. This is the only one I'm going to build on camera, just to show you how to make it. So this is 4, and then you go like this with, I'm sorry, you go like this with a sticky piston, a block, and redstone like this. So now let's say this is multiplication mode coming in. We turn this on, and it generates a 10-tick pulse right into the calculate button. So I'm going to make 3 more of these, another one for the clear on this guy, and then 2 more for the calculate and clear for division. Okay, so I made another one for the clear button on the multiplier, and then I made 2 more over here for the divider, calculate, and clear. Since addition is fairly straightforward, I'm just going to show you what you need to connect it to, and then I'll cut to when I did it. So this addition line right here, the one that gets powered when we hit addition, this line needs to connect to our addition symbol, so this guy, and needs to connect to this guy to let our answers through, and then it needs to clear our multiplication and division. So clear division and clear multiplication. Alright, addition mode is all set up. It comes out here. It turns on the addition sign, so it pops up on the display. It lets the addition answers through from right here. It clears the divider with this line, and it clears the multiplier all the way over here with this line. So for subtraction, you're going to want to connect it to here, and your tower to let the subtraction answers through, and then as usual the clearing for the divider, and the clearing for the multiplier. And then after connecting those, we have to do one more thing for subtraction. Okay, subtraction's all wired up to those 4 things, and now we need to grab the signal for where we want the negative sign. And I think we can just grab it from out here. If you go 1, 2 to the second number, and you grab this guy, I think that will just show up as our where we want the negative sign. Yeah, okay. So we're just reusing one of the segments of the numbers that we don't use in subtraction. So yeah, this is our line for it, and the carry out from subtraction, remember, we want the negative sign to show up when the carry out is a 0. So we need to first invert this signal, and then connect it to the negative sign all the way down there. So that's what I've done with this line here. Connects them like that, and now when we test subtraction, if we get 0 minus 0 is a 0, which is positive, but if we put something in the bottom, then we are going to get a negative answer, and the negative sign pops up. Perfect. Now I'm also going to just disable this negative sign whenever any other mode is on. In other words, I only want it to show up if it's subtraction mode. So you can just put a comparator here, a cancellation, and then connect the inverse of subtraction mode to the cancellation. So in other words, when subtraction mode is on, this line will always be off, meaning that no canceling is going to happen. But as soon as any other mode is on and subtraction mode gets turned off, this line gets powered, and if you connect it all the way here, it will cancel the negative sign. Alright, multiplication mode. This line needs to connect to here to turn the X on. Needs to allow your multiplication answers through, which is over here. It needs to hit calculate on the multiplier, which is this guy. And then it also needs to clear the divider. So as always, this guy right here. Alright, multiplication's all wired up. For division, I'm going to do the easier parts first. We have to enable the division sign. We have to let the giant stack of division answers through. We have to hit calculate on the divider, which is this guy. And we have to clear the multiplier, which is this guy. Alright, those 4 parts of division are lined up, and now the last thing we have to do is worry about the decimal point. So for the decimal point, I'm going to go right after the first 2 digits, and then in between the second and the third right here, I want it to be this block. So So I'm gonna put a block like this, repeaters here so it doesn't interfere with anything, and then a torch. And yeah, that looks like the decimal point we want. Another torch to disable it for right now. And then bring this line out. And then the other thing we want to do is adjust the leading zero logic a little bit, because it's going to work a little bit differently with the decimal point now. And all you actually need to do for that is just power this guy right here. So I just made 2 more lines to finish up division. You want to power this, and you want to power this. And that pretty much wraps it up for logistics. So we are almost done. The only thing we have to do is connect our final answer, which is all the way over here in a vertical form. These are 16 bits, and we need to convert them into the 6 digits of BCD down here to display into our answer. Other than that, let's just give this a giant test. So I'm going to flip it into addition mode. We should get our symbol and our division stuff goes away. Let's do 123. I already have a 2 on the bottom. Let's make it 247. So we can head over and check our answer. And our answer over here is correct. It's 370. Now we can go back and switch to subtraction mode. 123 minus 247. And we got our negative sign, and we got our subtraction sign. We go all the way back here, and it's correct, negative 124. And we can switch it to multiplication live. This is correct, 30,381. And finally, let's switch it live to division mode. And we got 49 in the output. And like I said, lots of times before, as soon as this gets plugged into the display, it'll look normal because our decimal point popped up, and it will look like 0.49. Perfect. Thanks for watching.